Picture this. You've saved up for months, packed the family into the car, paid a small fortune to get through the gates, and finally, you're standing in the most magical place on Earth. The music is playing, the castle is gleaming, and your kid is about to meet their favorite character for the very first time. And then Goofy face plants in front of 200 people. That is the kind of moment we are celebrating today. Because as much as Disney spends hundreds of millions of dollars perfecting every detail of the park experience, gravity does not care about the magic. And over the decades, guests have caught some genuinely spectacular falls on camera, slips, tumbles, collapses, and full-on wipeouts that no amount of pixie dust can cover up. Today, we're counting down the absolute worst Disney character falls ever caught on video. And when I say worst, I mean the most dramatic, the most painful looking, the most gloriously unfortunate moments in Disney Parks history. We'll go from bad to truly catastrophic, because the last one on this list might be the single most stunning piece of footage to ever come out of a Disney park. Let's get into it. We're starting off warm, because this first fall is less of a disaster and more of a masterclass in character integrity. During a parade at Magic Kingdom, Buzz Lightyear is marching along in full costume, arms raised, chest out, the complete Space Ranger package, when he hits a patch of slick pavement near one of the floats and goes down hard on one knee. Now here's what makes this clip special. Buzz doesn't break character for a single second. He goes down, pauses for exactly one beat, and then rises back to his feet with the kind of slow, deliberate authority that honestly makes it look like kneeling in front of the crowd was always part of the plan. He even points finger guns at a kid in the front row on the way back up. The crowd goes from a collective gasp to laughing and cheering, and Buzz just marches on like nothing happened. This is the gold standard of fall recovery. The character never broke, the magic never broke, and somewhere out there, the cast member inside that Buzz suit absolutely deserves a raise. Things get a little messier with this next one, because this isn't just one fall, it's a chain reaction. During the Disney Stars on parade at Disneyland Paris, Chip and Dale are dancing alongside several other characters near the back of a float. The sequence involves a lot of choreographed movement and the kind of sharp turns that are genuinely difficult in oversized character suits. What happens next is a slow-motion disaster that unfolds over about 6 seconds. Dale catches the edge of the performance platform with his foot, stumbles forward, and grabs onto Chip for balance. Instead of steadying things, this pulls Chip off balance too, and both of them go down onto the parade route in a heap while the other characters around them continue performing without missing a beat. What makes this clip so remarkable is the reaction of the cast members operating nearby. 2 of them are on the scene within seconds, not panicking, not drawing attention, just calmly and professionally helping Chip and Dale back to their feet and seamlessly getting them back into the choreography. The whole intervention takes maybe 8 seconds, and the parade just continues. It's controlled chaos, executed about as well as it can be. But the moment of both characters going down at once, that's genuinely hard to watch without wincing. Now we're getting into more unusual territory, because this next one is the kind of clip that makes you do a double take. During a parade at Tokyo Disneyland, one of the larger costume characters, and the specific identification of which character this was has been debated in Disney fan communities for years, appears to lose the head unit of their costume mid-performance. Not fully off, but dramatically tilted to the point where the character's head is sitting at a roughly 45-degree angle relative to the rest of the body. The character, to their enormous credit, keeps walking, keeps waving, as if nothing is wrong, as if this is a completely normal angle for a head to be at. But here's the part that gets even stranger. Instead of immediately being escorted off the route, the character continues for what appears to be nearly a full minute before a handler manages to get them behind a float and out of the eye line of the crowd. The whole time, the tilted head is just there, visible to everyone, being absolutely cheerfully ignored by the performer inside. Tokyo Disneyland has some of the most disciplined and committed cast members on the planet, and this clip is proof of that. Most people would panic. This person just kept waving. This is the one that people who've been in Disney fan circles for a while tend to bring up when this topic comes around, and it deserves its reputation. In 1994, during a Christmas stage performance in front of Cinderella Castle at Walt Disney World, a performer in a large snowman costume misjudges the edge of the stage during a production number and falls completely off the platform. Not a stumble, not a partial slip, a full disappearance off the side of the stage, out of the sightline of the audience, into the area below. The gasps from the crowd on the original VHS recording are something else. This was not a small stage, and the area below appears to have been occupied by the park's live band, instruments, musicians, the works. Somehow, miraculously, there don't appear to have been any serious injuries, but the incident was significant enough that Disney quietly revised the safety barriers on outdoor performance stages in the years that followed. No follow-up footage of the snowman getting back up exists. The performance did not continue, and the raw authenticity of that audience reaction, real shock, not laughter, puts this one in a completely different category from everything else on this list. What makes it land so hard is the context. Christmas, Cinderella Castle, families, and then absolute silence before the gasps. It is genuinely one of the most startling pieces of Disney Parks footage that exists. If you've been to Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios, you know Fantasmic. It's one of the most ambitious live shows Disney produces. Pyrotechnics, water screens, boats, dozens of performers, all choreographed to run like clockwork every single night. And then there's this. During the grand finale of Fantasmic, all the Disney characters gather on a large boat for a choreographed number that closes the show. It's a high-energy sequence, the boat is multi-tiered, and there are a lot of characters in big suits navigating the platform in the dark. During one particular performance, Dopey, stationed on the upper level of the boat, slips on the wet surface of the deck and slides forward, going through a gap in the railing of the upper tier and dropping down onto the lower level, landing directly on top of Goofy. The remarkable thing about this clip isn't even the fall itself. It's the way it unfolds in slow motion against the backdrop of the full Fantasmic finale. Fireworks going off, the crowd cheering, the music swelling, while Dopey is disappearing through railings, and Goofy is suddenly bearing the full weight of another character. Both performers were reported to be fine, but the incident led to immediate changes in the railing configuration for that section of the boat, and cast members who've worked the show since have noted that the finale positions were quietly adjusted in the aftermath. The fact that it happened during literally the most cinematic moment of the show, on a boat, in front of thousands of people with fireworks overhead, makes it almost impossible to believe the timing. Most falls on this list happen to hero characters. This one happened to a villain, and the irony is absolutely perfect. At Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, the villain parade is one of the most popular events of the evening. The Queen of Hearts walks the route surrounded by her card guards, who function as her personal performance backup. Their whole job is to make her look powerful, intimidating, and in command. During one of these parades, one of the card guards attempts a particularly ambitious move, a fast spin into a low stance, and his feet go out from under him completely. He hits the ground hard, right in front of the Queen of Hearts, in front of the entire crowd lining the parade route. The Queen of Hearts pauses, looks down at the guard on the ground, and then, in what is either brilliant character work or a cast member genuinely not knowing what to do, extends one hand toward him in what could generously be described as an almost attempt at helping, before seemingly thinking better of it and continuing on. The crowd absolutely loses it, because it is a genuinely perfect scene. The Queen of Hearts is not known for her compassion. A card guard falling in front of her and being left there is honestly completely on brand. This is the rarest category of Disney fall, one that accidentally tells a perfect character story. We've saved the most genuinely hair-raising clip for last. There is a moment in Fantasmic, and this is relevant at both the Hollywood Studios and Disneyland versions of the show, where Mickey Mouse takes center stage and uses pyrotechnic effects in his gloves to shoot sparks into the air. It is one of the most visually spectacular moments in any Disney live show. The timing has to be exact, the position has to be exact, and the performer has to be ready because the pyrotechnics are on a fixed cue. In this clip, Mickey Mouse is moving into position for that exact moment and seconds away from the cue when he slips on the wet stage surface and goes down hard. The reason this ranks as the worst on this list isn't just the fall itself, it's the context. The pyrotechnic gloves would almost certainly have been deactivated as a safety measure once a performer went down. Disney's technical protocols are extremely thorough. But what this clip captures is a full wipeout happening in the seconds before one of the most technically complex cues in a major live production. The stage manager in the booth, the technical crew, every cast member on that stage, everyone would have known exactly what was about to happen, and exactly what was now at risk of going wrong. You can feel the tension even watching from the audience footage. The fall, the pause, the scramble to get back up and get into position. Mickey makes it, the cue fires, the show goes on. But for about 4 seconds, one of the most iconic moments in Disney live entertainment was genuinely hanging by a thread. And those 4 seconds are fully, gloriously, terrifyingly on camera. That is your countdown of the worst Disney character falls ever caught on video. And look, every single one of these clips represents a real person in an incredibly physically demanding job, doing their absolute best under difficult circumstances. The commitment it takes to stay in character while wearing a 40-pound foam head on a wet stage in front of thousands of people is not small. So, while we can absolutely appreciate the spectacular chaos of what we just watched, the real story in every single one of these clips is how quickly those cast members got back up. Because that is the job. The show goes on. It always does. If you want to see more content like this, deep dives into the real behind-the-scenes moments at Disney parks that you won't find in the promotional footage, subscribe and hit the bell. We go through the archives so you don't have to.